Yo, what is up, guys? We are back with our series where we are trying to create the best anime possible. Today, we're going to be rating side character casts. Now, before we get into that, let's make sure we recap what we got in the anime so far. We got the setting in Zero Space, we got main character Toriko, we got the premise from Record of Ragnarok, tournament fighting based anime pretty much. Now, before we get into this list, obviously you can already see a little bit of what's on here, and before you get up in arms in it about the things you can see, let me explain a little bit. First and foremost, I want to point out that we're now in the territory of this series where we're going to be getting into, not only do we have to consider which one's the best in each category, but now also how they fit in with the other pieces. I don't think that's going to be too big a factor in this particular video, but as we go on, it will become more and more of a factor, obviously. Now, getting right into it, we're going to start off in D tier. I got Attack on Titan. I got Sword Art Online. I think Sword Art Online stinks across the board, so pretty much everything about it is bottom tier, in my opinion. Attack on Titan, it's a pretty solid show. A lot of the characters are real dirtbags. Like, let's be honest. I don't want any of those guys hanging around. C tier, no, I'm not going to go through all these. It's just good. C tier is not bad. Just because it's in C tier doesn't mean I think it stinks. It just means I think it's not the best. If we go on to B tier and A tier, honestly, there's a lot of them in B tier. I think I maybe should have put in A tier. When we're talking about side casts, we're talking about quantity and quality of good characters. And we also have to consider the average. Not just, hey, this anime has really good side characters, but maybe there's also really bad side characters in that anime, and that kind of makes the average lower than what you would think. Although, what I will say, there's a lot of them in B tier that I think should probably be A tier. Fairy Tail, honestly, probably deserves S tier. Upon second look, it was a little while I made this list or whatever. So, I will say there's a couple of these anime in these tiers that I, on a second thought. But yeah, there's basically some that I think should be in higher tiers upon second reconsideration or whatever. Anyway, moving on to what we got in S tier. We got Naruto and we got One Piece. Now, if we're talking about side cast, basically what I'm literally talking about is Naruto would be the Konoha 11 or whatever it is. Obviously minus Naruto, because he's a main character, not a side character. One Piece, it would be the Straw Hat Crew, again, minus Luffy, because we already have a main character for the show. I think I would go with, I don't want to be like totally biased for One Piece, but I would go with One Piece, and the reason is, I think if you take the lowest characters of the Naruto cast, I think they're worse than the lowest characters on the Straw Hats, if that makes any sense. And I think I would take Zoro over anybody, and I would take the worst, who's the worst Straw Hat? Like maybe Usopp or whatever. I don't know. It depends on your taste. Maybe Sanji's the worst. And I would take Sanji over Sasuke, although it is close. Just as an example. So I think I would go with One Piece. Now, how does this fit in with what we have so far? If we think about it in this way, it fits in with, obviously I think Toriko would fit in with the One Piece crew. They've had crossovers, Toriko and One Piece before. So he'd fit in on the Straw Hat crew just pretty well. And if we fit it into the premise that we have, a tournament fighting based premise, these would be basically the team that Toriko is on. This would be a team based tournament system, the Straw Hats minus Luffy plus Toriko. And I think that's a pretty good recipe for a pretty good anime so far. Anyway, that's what we got so far. Next episode, I think I'll do villain group, maybe. So look forward to that. If you like the video, make sure to hit that like button. Make sure to hit that subscribe button. And if you made it this far in the video, I really appreciate it. And I hope you have a great rest of your day, you son of a